Tomcat. So for that Tomcat thing, I have 2 machines up and running. And then I was facing a problem yesterday, which now I have solved it. I'll tell you how I have solved it. And then we can go ahead. So this is my Tomcat machine and this is the Jenkins machine. So let me bring them up. Let this machine come up. Okay, guys, so this is my Jenkins machine and this is running, and this is my Tomcat machine which is running. So I'll just revisit whatever we have done till now, and then we can show you the integration. So the first thing what I am doing is I'll go to my document downloads. So this is the document you'll find in your GitHub repo. So this is what I'm trying to do. So the first thing is I'll write the code, put it to GitHub. So this is already done, but again, I can show you that. So what I will do now is first, let me go to my Jenkins machine. Okay, and log into this Jenkins machine. So I will come here and say, putty. I will say EC2 minus user at the rate, whatever IP address you got, appearance, change, 16, okay, SSH, auth, browse, and this is the key, open it. Then let's become a root user. And host name will be Jenkins. Okay, so, and again, sudo su hyphen. So this is what I have done. Now I will write the code. If the code is not there, then I'll write the code, but the code is already there. So I'll not push the code, but only I'll write the code. Okay. So let me just create a folder here. Let me say I'm creating a folder as test code. Test code. And I'll put everything here. Okay. So first mkdir test code. And then cd test code. And here I'm going to write my code. So first, what I need is I need to check Java. So I will check Java here. So I have Java 17, which is the latest version, 4.8 version 17.4. The second thing which I will check is Maven version. So I will check for Maven, and I can see Maven 3.05 is there. So the old version of Maven is there, but this is what was giving me problem. So I'll tell you what solution I took for that. Now, the first thing is I want to write the code. So I will come to my PowerPoint, and here in my Jenkins thing, I have the code. So this is the code for me. Let's run it. So now what will happen? Code will be generated and sample app will be created for that. The name of the code will be sample app and it will be created for me. So here I can see it is created. So if I do ls minus l, I can see this sample web app is there. So cd, let me go to the sample web app, ls minus l. So you can see form XML and src is there. Now, if I push this code, or if I want to push this code, I can say git push and all those things. So assume that I have done a git push and my code is currently present here. Assume it, because I don't want to show it again because I've already done that. So this is what I have. Okay, so assume that the code is here, source main web app, and this is the code index.jsp. Here it is written hello from Tomcat, and my new changes are in Tomcat server. So these are the 2 lines which I have here. Now, the problem which I was facing yesterday was that the form XML which I have here, one second. let me come here. So this POM XML, okay, cat POM XML. So if I take this guy now and come here and say notepad plus plus. So this is my what do you say? This is my POM XML, the default one. Okay. So when I was facing this problem, I went ahead to Google and I tried to find out what is the problem. Okay. So one place, if I remember the error correctly, it was Jenkins. Wait. When I was trying to do a package, or let me just go ahead and recreate that scenario. So I will come here to pom.xml. I'll copy this guy and I'll keep it separately somewhere. Okay. And I will replace this guy. This is my pom.xml, which is getting generated from my code. Okay. So I will come here and try to run this. So assume that I have pushed the code. I have not made any change. I've just pushed the code and this is the code for me. So changes done to pom.xml. Okay. So this is pom.xml for me. Commit the changes. Okay. Now I will try to execute this code. Okay. Because the code is present here. I have done the first step as of now. I have pushed my code from here to GitHub. Assume that I have done that. The second thing is I have to integrate my GitHub and Jenkins together. So for that, I will go to my Jenkins. It's not running. So let me just come here and say service Jenkins status. So it is dead. So let me just bring it up, start. And I will also run systemctl enable Jenkins so that in future I don't have this problem. Because whenever I shut down my system, automatically my Jenkins also stops. Now I will say systemctl enable Jenkins. So now what will happen? This system will get enabled. Okay. Now I can come back here and I can see my Jenkins is up and running. Admin and pass 1, 2, 3. So in my global tool configuration, the first thing which I'm going to do is let me just let me delete this job. This is from the morning class. So let me delete this job. So I will go to my manage Jenkins. In manage Jenkins, I'll go to global tool configuration. And here I will do the path setup. So the first thing it is asking me for JDK. So JDK normal, I have just told Java home, and this is the path. Okay. Then similarly, I told Git, and then the last is Maven. So all these things I'm getting from this guy. So if I come here and say MVN version, I get all these details. This is my Java home and this is my Maven home. So these two things I need. Now I will go ahead and say apply, save. Now I will integrate my Git and Jenkins together. So I will go to new item. I will say integrate Jenkins Tomcat. It's a pipeline project. Say okay. You can give the same name, integrate Jenkins and Tomcat. Okay. Now come here, go all the way down here, say pipeline script, take a sample script from here. Hello world is there. So this is a sample script. Just I'll make changes here only. So I will say this is my SCM checkout. SCM checkout. And here I will write my code. So I will come here to my pipeline syntax. I will go to Git. The repository URL is what I need. So this is my repository URL. Code. Take this. Come here. This is my repository URL. I'm going with main branch. In the credentials, I'll use my Git credentials. That's it. Generate the script, and I can see the script for me. You can take it and put it here. So this is something which we have already done. Just put enter here. Okay, you can apply, save, and let it run. So I'm doing the first step here where I'm pushing the code from Git to GitHub, and then I'm integrating my GitHub and Jenkins together. So it is running. I can see a success. It means it is done. So the second step is done. Now the third step is I have to integrate it with Maven. So for Maven, what I will do, I will come here to declarative generator. Here I will say I'm going to use a tool, and that tool is Maven for me, Maven, and I will generate this thing. So I get something like this. Take this from here.
Sir, in yesterday class, we were trying to do all together, right?
You can do that also. There's no problem. So you can do everything together. Anyhow, I'll come to that step only. So come here. Now Control A, Control C. Let me come here to my Notepad++. Here I'll make changes. Okay. So this agent any tool Maven, this is just what I have added now. I need something like this more. So let me add this guy, another step. So I will say clean compile. Okay. So you can remove this guy and you say sh, you say mvn clean compile, and then you can add one more step. You can say package. And you can say mvn package. Okay, Control A, Control C. You can save this code and try to execute it. So it should fail with that error, which I just now showed you. Let's see what happens. So if it fails, then I will go ahead. It may not fail because I've already run it in morning. So probably that executable maybe it has failed. Okay. So good that it has failed. I can show you what is the problem here. So like I'll go here inside, go to console output. Now, if you come here, say error. So here, error 00000, error injecting Java default properties, error, not this guy. Unable to load war plugin. No, there is something like this. API incompatibility. So this is some error which I got, right? I go to Google and try to find out what is that error and how can I solve this. So I came to Stack Overflow. And here I was reading through all these things. Somewhere I found that they're asking us to change the form XML. This is what they're asking us to change. Okay. So build, final build. So what I did is I took this piece of code 3.2.2 and I updated my form XML. So this is what I have updated. See here. Final name, Tomcat demo, and 3.2.2 Maven var plugin. So this is what I did. So Control A, Control C, and this new form XML, you can come and put it here on your GitHub. So this is your form XML, Tomcat demo. Come here and remove the old one. And you can say updated form.xml. Commit the changes. And now you can run your pipeline again. So let me just go back here again. Let's try to execute it again. So what will happen? It will take the latest code from my Jenkins or from my GitHub. So let's see what happens now. Will it go good or it will fail again? Okay, I can see that this has been successful. So if I go inside the job, what will I see? That the human readable code has been converted into a machine readable code. See here. So at the end of the day, this is what I want. I get a var file. So what I have done is the human readable code, which I was writing Java, I converted that code into, I compiled that code and I converted into a machine readable code. So as of now, I am here. So I did it to GitHub, then Maven, and then finally I am at this step, this particular step. So I have to deploy the change to Tomcat server. So there are two things which I did. So when I come to Tomcat server, I'll come here. This is my Tomcat server. So Tomcat server is running on a different machine, but on the same port number, which is 8080.
Because I did also same, but not POM XML I changed. I just changed the Java version for the Maven. So it worked actually.
That's what. See, it is version incompatibility. So either you change Maven or you change Java.
Yeah.
Either of the two. So this is also not working. I think this is also stopped state. So let me just go and connect to this machine and start the machine. So let me connect to Tomcat.
Because will they use any testing tool in between?
Okay. In the POM XML, you will see there is JUnit here. JUnit. So JUnit is a testing tool. If you want, you can integrate it with Selenium and you can write Selenium test cases.
Will be the testing will be comes with the DevOps engineer, or that's a separate team?
Testing will not be your this thing. The test engineer will be there who will give the test cases to you. So you will not be doing testing. You will only once he will give the automated test cases, you will just run the pipeline. Okay.
Okay.
So I will go to OPT. Inside OPT, I have this Tomcat thing. Wait. Sudo su hyphen ls minus l. I will say host name. I will give this as Tomcat. Sudo su hyphen and ls minus l. So I don't see anything. Why? Don't see anything. This is Tomcat machine only. Wait a second. Let me check whether I'm into the same machine or a different machine. Tomcat 13.118.219.
In the OPT folder we installed, right?
219. So that's what even I am checking whether it is I'm on correct folder or not. So I can see this Tomcat is there. CD, I'll go inside Tom ls minus l, and I can see this bin folder. Go to bin, and inside the bin you have startup.sh. So it is started. Now let me come back here and see if it is up and running. This time it is up and running. Then I did two things here. I went ahead and configured that context.xml and conf Tomcat user. So now if I say admin 123, I will be able to sign in. And this is my server right now. Okay, Apache Tomcat, Java this, Amazon Linux is running, Tomcat server, this is the IP address. So this is what I can see. Now I can manually deploy things, right? I can go to list the application and I can manually deploy the files. But the purpose here is not to manually deploy anything. Rather, go ahead and deploy it via Jenkins so that the process can be automated. So for that, what I will do is I'll come here to my dashboard and I will install a plugin. So let me go to manage Jenkins. I go to manage plugins and I've already installed that plugin. So I will come to install. You go to available and you will see there is something called SSH agent. So there is a plugin called SSH agent. So it says provide SSH credentials to build your whatever machine you want to connect. So this is the one SSH agent plugin. Now, once you install this, you can come back here, go to snippet generator, and here you look for this SSH. You will find this SSH agent. Click on this. Now here it says, which machine would you like to connect? So I would like to connect to my Tomcat machine. But there is a small problem here. When you want to connect to your any machine, you need a PEM file, but I have only PPK for this. So this is a PPK file, Tomcat KP. If you go here, see here, Tomcat KP is a PPK file, PPK, put in private key. So I have to convert this file into PEM. That thing I have to do. Okay, how to do that? So to do that, I have to use puttygen. So this is a tool, puttygen. Come and say load. This is your key. Okay, then you come here and say conversion and say export SSH key. Paraphrase, yes. And here you can give a name like Tomcat KP dot PEM. So I need PEM file. Okay, all files, PEM file. Save. It's already there. Yes, I will try to overwrite it. And now if you come here, you will see another file is there. Same file, but PEM format. I have PPK and PEM both. So this is what I need. Okay, this is what I need. So let me come here. Because Jenkins will work only with PEM file. It will not work with PPK. Come here and say add Jenkins. I will say I will use SSH key with private key ED. So you can say Tomcat SSH credentials, something like this. Description also I'll give same. Username. So username for me is EC2 minus user. Treat it as a secret. The password I will come here and say directly add whatever you see in your PEM file. Okay. Control A, Control C. Make sure you do not paste anything unnecessary. See here, a space came, remove it. Then come all the way here. Now in the drop down, you will see your Tomcat SSH credentials. Okay. Then generate pipeline script. So it says SSH agent. This is your password and some block. So this sum block I'm going to fill. Just copy this. Before copying that, we will add another step here. This is not needed anymore. So I will add another step here. Okay. I will put it like this. I will say Tomcat deployment. Tomcat deployment steps. S. So I will in the steps section. So this is what I have done. Sum block. So I will add that. I am yet to add this sum block. So this is, I will add. So this is my script as of now. Now, if I come here and say some example for this should be there. SSH agent. If I click on this now, on see here. So it's saying SSH minus O strict host checking no. So something like this you have to write. Okay. So I will just show you what is this. So I have the script here. Let me just go and take the script first from here, and then I'll come back and explain all these things to you again. Now read the script carefully. It is saying SH. SH means it's executed like a shell command. SCP. SCP is securely copy. Securely copy from Jenkins to my Tomcat machine. Minus O. So while copying, there is a strict host checking key no. Means I will not give the password again and again. I need the password, or the password will be given only once. So I've already given the password here. Here I have already given the password, right? While doing this SSH agent. So I've already given the password. So this is my password. So I'm saying, take this password only. Don't ask me for the password again and again. So strict host checking, no. Then at the end of the day, when you did a compilation of your code, when you compiled your code, what is that you got finally? So finally, when you compile your code, you can go to console output. And here, if you see, you got this target tomcat demo.var. So I will say, this is my file, target tomcat demo.var. And this I want to deploy to EC2 user at the rate of the IP address. Now EC2 user is the default user. IP address is for the Tomcat machine. This is my Tomcat machine. So this is Tomcat machine. This is the IP address 172.31.45.219. 172.31.45.219 colon. Then where is your this running? So if you say pwd opt Tomcat, so I am going to put it in opt Tomcat and web apps folder. So there is a folder with the name as web apps. So whatever you deploy, you have to deploy it here in this web apps folder. Okay. So this is the place where I'm going to deploy my tomcat.var file. Okay. And then finally this will run. So let me just go ahead and try to execute this. Go to configure. Go all the way here. Apply, save, and try to build it. Let's see what happens. So clean compile is going on. I have a new step called Tomcat deployment. So that will come next. So Tomcat deployment is done. So if I go here, okay, Tomcat deployment, I can go and see that the file has been copied. Go all the way down here. And it says, with this command, the Tomcat has been, the content, this is Tomcat demo var, has been copied here. Let me check. So I can go to web apps folder and do ls-l. So I can see this executable getting copied. And the good thing is the user is EC2 user, because I was using EC2 user. And if I come here and say date, see here, 1402 means just now it has been copied. 1401. It's not like previously only it was there. Okay. So this is what I need. Many a times you may face a problem. The problem is that it will give you error. So that error is because sorry. You may get the error if this folder Tomcat is not owned by these guys, EC2 minus user, EC2 minus user. So make sure that you run this command. I have run this command yesterday only. This chown -r EC2 user, and this web apps folder, or you can this complete folder Tomcat should be owned by EC2 user. If you go inside, you will see all the items are owned by EC2 user. This web apps folder is owned by EC2 user. So make sure that the EC2 user is owning this, because in the script you're saying EC2 user @ this. So your EC2 user should have access to copy the file. So now the file has been copied. Now we can come back here. Come back here. Come here. And whatever is your jar file name. So what is your jar file name which got copied? CD web apps ls-l. So this is the file name. Here, paste it here. This is your file name. Copy, manager, paste it, but I don't need .var. That is understood. Okay. You will see this is what you get. Now the question is, where am I getting this from? Go back to your this location. You go on mute if you're not talking. So where did I get from? So this is the place where my code is present, index.jsp, and this is what I have. Now, suppose I'm changing the code. I'm saying capital hello Tomcat from AWS web server. And I'm saying my changes. I will add something. I am learning Jenkins Give anything, okay? Jenkins and Tomcat. Then just see whatever comment you want to give, you can give here. Updated index.jsp, commit the changes. Now, once you have committed the changes, the latest change should be picked up by my this thing or my this place. So go back to your Tomcat. So I'm here build 4. So I will build it again and I will go to build 5. In build 5, the latest code will be picked up and the latest content I should be able to see on my Tomcat.
Because in between we can install add the Ansible also, right?
You can use Ansible also.
Like for you are giving the easy to user at the rate this IP, right? Tomcat server. There we can provide the host file and
that also can be done. Ansible can also do that. So this is my old code. Now let me refresh this and I can see the new code is coming here. So basically what we are trying to do is we are trying to follow this documentation, and here in this documentation, Ansible is not there. That's why I have not brought Ansible in picture. So in this documentation, you can see this Jenkins only is deploying for me to Tomcat, and hence I am using the same thing. Now, one last thing which I would like to do here. If the code is present here, if the code is directly present here, anybody can come and make changes to the code and my code is exposed. So I don't
Sir,
want
in the drawing, it is showing the Selenium also, no?
Selenium I don't have. Instead of that, I have JUnit. Okay. So let me come here. This is Jenkins file. So let me update this Jenkins file. The old one, whatever I have, I'm removing it. And I'm going to add a new Jenkins file. This is my new Jenkins file. Come here, say updated Jenkins file. Okay, commit the changes. These changes are committed. Okay. Now, what I will do, you go back here. Go back here. Here. On my Jenkins, I will say I'm not going to use the script directly. I'm going to use SCM. SCM is going to be Git. In Git, this is going to be my repo. And in the credentials section, I will use my Git credentials. And it's not master branch, it is main branch. And the last thing which I'll change is it is Jenkins file. The code is present here, Jenkins file. Okay, come here. This is the place.
Sir, in real time, we will not be picking code from anywhere else, no, other than source code management, GitHub.
Yeah, you will be in real time environment. You will be always picking up the code from Git only. Here, because I'm still writing the code, I'm still creating the pipeline. I was putting it in the Jenkins itself. So you can see at this point of time, the code is getting picked up from my GitHub and it is getting compiled. And it's working.
Because in real time, in this application war file, we will have to configure the database as well, right? So in that case, how we will
in real time, when you see, we will go step by step. So see, there are many things here. Now, when you talk about database and all, probably the database thing, you will not deploy it like that. See, Tomcat, I told you, if you remember in the beginning, I told you Tomcat is for pure Java applications. So if I come here,
correct.
So
correct,
here, you can't integrate database. So
no, the IP we need to give, right, for the local host.
Those and all will come, but that will come later. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, when you're using Tomcat, you can use pure Java application. So database and all those things cannot be integrated here. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that I understand.
Down the line, I will teach you how to integrate database and all. So database and all, you will integrate it via Docker. So there, I will show you how to work with Docker.
Okay.
And sir, when you are given this easy to user privileges to all the folders, no? Can we do that by individually? Like, I don't want to give for such files and some files.
Individually, if you do, then the work will be more, na? If you do individually, the work will be more.
In the real time, it cannot be like that. No, all folders cannot be accessed to everybody, right?
But EC2 user is not a user with lots of privilege. EC2 user
He's just a normal user. As a root user, I want to give my another normal users for particular folder access only. That
time you just go ahead and give access only for this folder. Tomcat web apps. So if you say that I will give access only to this folder, then give access to only this folder.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what we have done till now.
Hey, Vikas, I have a question.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yeah,
I have a question. For example, if the situation like in the real time, for example, there is every month there is a production release. For that, every month they will create like a new Git branch for every month release, right? So we need to change that Git what you can say, the Git configuration, right? So now you give only one path, that is your repository link, that URL, but now like in this situation every month the branch will change and path will also change, right?
That
So
cannot
for those kind of
that
deployments,
cannot
how we
happen.
can
Branch cannot always change. See, it is not like that today you're deploying it on a different branch, tomorrow you will deploy in a different branch. That cannot happen, or that does not happen in general. So generally what happens is, then how will you maintain the history? So if I go to this github.com, so when I teach you Git branching concept, that branching concept says that only, that there will be one main branch. And whatever branch you have, wherever your code is, at the end of the day, you will merge your changes with main branch. If you every time come up with a new branch, then how will I track which branch is doing what? Okay. So remember Git branching strategy. When I taught you Git branching strategy, I told you there will be one branch which will be the default branch. Do whatever you want to do on your local, but at the end of the day, you will be pushing your changes to this branch only. So this link which we give here in our configure section, this is not like with every deployment it will change. This is a permanent thing, kind of a permanent thing only. This is a kind of permanent thing only.
Okay, but like based on the branch week, I mean every time actually in currently I'm working like I can see that those kind of situation that every month we are, for example, we created a branch for August, we created a branch for September.
Then you have to go here and add branch. Then you have to go and add branch. Let me say you have created August branch. So you say AUG. If you want a different branch, then you give a different branch. So that will depend on your requirement.
Yeah, but we are not doing these things like I mean directly in the pipeline. We are not configuring anything, but in the Jenkins, like there is kind of option like build with parameters. There we gave some kind of branch name, and if any parameters I want to give, we can give and we just run it. So I just want to know like how we can do those kind of things. Yes, sir.
Yes, that can also be done. I can show you that also.
Okay.
Come to this.
Sir, for adding the branch, we don't need to give any path.
No, if the main thing is there, this is my repo link. If the repo link is there, then the branch will automatically be picked up. At least the default branch will be automatically picked up. Okay. Now here, let me say I want to parameterize it. Okay. So here in your configure section, you will get an option. This project is parameterized. Here you will add parameters. Let me say I'm passing a string parameter. Okay. The name is branch. Okay. The default value, let me say, is main branch. And here please select your branch and apply, save. So now this time what will happen? You will get a new option here, build with parameters. Now if you click on this, it will ask you for the branch. So as of now, if you see, the main branch is my default branch. Okay. If you want that the code should be picked up from a different branch, let me say AUG BRANCH. So you build from here. So that can be done. That level of customization can be done.
Okay, got it now. Yeah, thanks.
But if I just give main, it will pick the main and it will start running. That is picking the code from main branch and it is running. Okay. So you will get around 2 days. Please do practice. Okay. We have covered few things like Jenkins, Git, Ansible, Tomcat. Okay. I'll start with SonarQube in the coming class, where I will tell you how to do code quality analysis. Then I will teach you how to raise automated alerts. Let me say this job went fine. I was checking, it went fine. But suppose it failed. Due to some reason, the job failed. Then the developer should know, right, that the job has failed. So how he'll be notified? So how to send Jira notifications, I will show you. So all those things I'll show you one by one. And then once the CI process is done, I will go to CD process, where I'll start with Docker, Kubernetes, and Terraform and all those things. Okay. So any questions, if you have, please go ahead and we can take those questions.
Sir, as of now, whatever we have done, no, we are practicing and all the things I can able to do. But remembering thing is the difficult I'm facing.
That is always there, man. See, you are learning some 10 to 15 tools. And everybody knows that you can't like memorize everything. That's why I'm saying on a daily basis, make notes. Okay, like this is a note. I will share it with you. So you will at least remember the commands. See, there will be someone who will have a photographic memory, means he will read it once and he will remember it for always. But in 1,000, 1 or 2 such people will be there. So as a normal human being, you don't have any other option but to slowly learn all these things. Okay. And one very important thing, once you're not using it, please go ahead and close it or terminate it. If you're not using it in future, terminate it. If you think that you will be using it in future, just stop it and use it whenever you want.
Because
yeah,
actually in I have doubt in Ansible deployment.
yeah, please.
In Ansible deployment, we give you a worker node under host, right? For that, we need to do a SSH connection, or simply we need to give that IP in that host folder.
SSH connection is mandatory. Without SSH, see, it is like introduction. So let me say you are a stranger, I am a stranger. We don't know each other. Then how can we talk? So there should be someone who will like connect both of us, so that now we know each other and we can talk. So that kind of work this SSH thing will do.
Yeah, okay. For giving SSH connections, we have to create that user and give that special power.
SSH keygen things we have to do.
Yeah, okay, because and here we compile a code, right? We get a jar file, right? Which code actually we compile? We compile that Maven repository code, or
no, we compiled that Tomcat code.
Okay. Yeah, okay, Vikash.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Fine. So please go ahead and practice. Okay. Anyway,
what is artifacts exactly?
Artifact is nothing but the binary format is also known as artifact. See, when you write a code, it is a human readable code. So we say high level code. Any programming language, Java, Python, .NET, whatever it is. It's
so example like war file. So war file is I mean in yeah, that's an artifact.
Yes, war file, jar file, exe file, .py file. These are all artifacts. Binary format, machine readable code.
Okay.
Because we are doing only continuous integration, right? Currently we are
as of now CI. We are only concentrating on CI. Later we will go to CD part.
Like Git is for like GitHub is for coding, updating the code. Jenkins is for connecting, and with the plugins, Maven for compilation, and Ansible for configuration. Now this Tomcat for web pages, right? Web
pages. So we have just started with deployment, but we will still concentrate a little bit more on our CI part. CD will come next.
Okay. You're told, right? SonarQube means okay. Next class, right?
SonarQube will be your testing tool.
Because Terraforms will be teaching here.
Yes, Terraform will be later. After Docker Kubernetes, I'll go to Terraform.
Hey, because on interview perspective, like if they ask like on what kind of things you work, if they ask, so we can say like this project, like we have worked on these things on this integration. Like
Correct.
this.
See,
Okay.
your major work will be CI/CD pipeline creation. If it is not there, if it is there, then upgradation of that CI/CD pipeline. You can see that, you can say that when I joined the project, it was only Git and Jenkins. They used to take the code from Git and put it in Jenkins. But then when I came, I started using SonarQube. I started using Tomcat. I started using Ansible. I started using this thing. Then I integrated this thing. How did you integrate? So you will tell all these things that this is what I integrated.
Okay.
See, whatever you do in the training will be only 60 to 70%. The company's requirement may be a little bit different, not 100% different, little bit different. So there, they will also know that, okay, he's aware of the basics. Let me take him, and then you will learn when you do the work. So like that, it will go.
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Whatever I am giving you or whatever I'm training you, there are chances that 100% it will be a replica, but there are very few chances. It cannot be 100%. It will be 60, 70%. The rest 20, 30% you have to manage in the work.
Okay.
Okay, fine. See you then, guys. Bye.